Back in the garage again, working on the Blazer. This video is going to be mostly a combination of just a bunch of videos that I've done throughout the week or past 2 weeks or so. Just small clips, videos, like I said, of just trying to get some last minute things done before I start painting the Blazer. So I installed the drag link ends. Finally, I got the doors and fenders and other like forward pieces and other little pieces here and there that needed to get sanded and pressure washed in order to paint. Alright, as you can see, working on my drag link here. Definitely needs to be replaced. As you can see, this one right here is totally damaged. There you go. But yeah, that definitely needs to be replaced. Already broke this one free from when I had to install the leaf springs and everything like that. Working on this bottom one, already got the nut loose and everything. Basically just gonna be taking the whole thing off and replacing it with this new one that I got. Got my old one off, and there's my new one, all greased up, ready to go. I got it about the same length. I had to get that old one off for my little wedge here. Cleaned up this area already, I painted it. It's just drying right now. So once it's dry, I can put on my new one. Just finished the drag link, putting it in. Got everything torqued down. Got these torqued down each side with my castle nut and cotter pin. Same with that one down there. Pretty easy. I mean, not too bad. I mean, put these little fittings on so it'll give it some grease. I did check the boot before I put it on. There was a little bit of grease, but I decided to just give it like 2 or 3 squirts of grease in there. Just put a little more in there. It didn't have like a super decent amount. I mean, there was just a little bit in there, so. But yeah. Alright, working on the Blazer again. Obviously, I got all the body parts out of the garage and I'm about to sand them and pressure wash them down. I decided that I'm also going to paint the hood and the tailgate. I got it over here. I'm going to paint that separately. Alright, as you can see, I also painted the back here of the frame and the brackets for the bumper. That way you can see if you do see anything, you know, you're seeing like fresh clean paint instead of, you know, dirty rust. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping the tailgate off. That way I can get this painted as well. I think that'll be a lot better than having the tailgate on, and I can get all in these areas down in here and everything like that, having the tailgate off. So that's my plan so far. Alright, got my pressure washer all set up. Got my pieces laid out, all sanded. I just sanded the 2 doors and the 2 fenders on the other side. Well, the inside of these doors I sanded, but I did not sand the inside of the fenders. Everything else needs a good pressure washing before I can sand it, as you can tell. For sanding, what I did is I DA'd everything with about like 80, 120 grit. And then I went back and after I sanded it with the DA, I went back and I hand sanded it with 320 and 400 grit. So hopefully that's good enough. Well, it's gonna have to be good enough because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm leaving it at. So now I'm pressure washing everything. The outside, I'm not going to like use like high pressure. I'm just gonna very kind of just a light wash, but the inside of things, including like the hinges for the hood and like the other pieces that are pretty dirty, just get as much of paint off or whatever, because I could tell like some places had like crappy paint on there and it wasn't even sticking that good from the paint job that was on there. Show you what I was talking about. This is from when I pressure washed it, the Blazer when it was still together, and that came off. As you can see, like the paint gets very thin over here. It's all right there. Show you my doors before I pressure wash. Fenders. All right, I'm all done. I got everything pressure washed and cleaned. Just letting it dry. I'm gonna give it a blow off using my blower, get the water out of places and stuff like that. Well, yeah, as you can see, doors came out pretty nice. Nice and sanded, same with the fenders, still drying up. I got these ready. These are all pressure washed. I just need to wipe them down with a cleaner, and then those are gonna be black. Also, I'm going to be putting on the doors, obviously, and the fenders. So, cleaned up all their bolts and everything like that. These were all, I mean, they weren't super rusty, but the fender ones definitely had a decent amount of rust on them. I can see they're clean, so I put them in these little cups right there. And I have this stuff. I used it before. It's actually really good. I just put it in this solution overnight. It's 415, the rust remover. Works pretty good. Just like I said, I put it in overnight, come back in the morning, empty it, wash it with water, just to rinse it, and they're all super clean and ready to go instead of wire brushing every single one, you know. All right, working on my list. Just updated my list, cleaned it all up. I had a lot of things crossed off, so starting with the fresh, clean list. As you can see, I'm already crossing some things off. Washed the Blazer to give it a one last good clean right before I paint, obviously. I have all my body parts already sanded and washed down, except for the hood and the tailgate. These pieces out here. As you can see, I got my new drag link on there. Finally got that in. Put that on there. Just cleaning up some things, some last minute little things. Like I had that hole that I fixed for the mirror kind of started to peek through, so I went over it. It's still drying right now, the Bondo. I have to sand that again. Little things like that. But I think I finally did make up my mind. I know I've been back and forth, changing my mind, whatever, about how I'm going to be painting it. The two-tone is throwing me off. I don't know, like, if I should prime everything and then, like, put it on the Blazer and then do the two-tone. That way the lines match up perfectly. I've already talked about it. But I think I've finally picked what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to prime everything apart, and I'm going to paint everything the Hugger orange apart. And then I'm obviously going to have this taped off when I paint the Hugger orange on there, because I'm going to prime and paint the orange while this is taped off. And then once the orange is finished drying, I can back tape. Once the orange is done drying, I can put it on the Blazer, have everything lined up, then I can back tape where I want my lines to go from each body panel to the next, and then I'll prime it, and then I'll paint it white. That way I'll still have that fresh or like even line from each body panel with the two-tone, and everything will have like a good paint job for the orange. Like, I'll be able to get into places like that with the body panels off. So I was very worried about like getting in here. Obviously with the door on, it would have been hard to get into that spot. And then same with the door if it was on, you know, like over there. So I think that's the plan. Letting the Blazer finish up drying. It's already been like an hour or two since I washed it, but I'm gonna leave it out there a little longer, whatever, while I do some things. So like I said, I gotta sand that, and just been doing little things here and there. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So hopefully this weekend I will have the Blazer paint. I'm gonna have to tape off this part because this is getting white as well. So basically I'm just doing primer and orange in the spots that's only getting orange. Everything else is just gonna be masked off, so when I come back after the orange is dry, I can tape off and then prime and paint the white areas. So that's my new plan. I wrote it all down. This is my list now. As you can see, I still have like all my interior parts and everything like that. But I'm really focused on getting it painted, and then I can work on these things. I still need to clean and like wash it and everything like that. These are getting all black. It's gonna look like this. This piece I already did, as you can tell. It's just a little dusty, but yeah, I mean, if everything else comes out this well, I mean, I'll be pretty happy. So I have the tailgate. I didn't do a video on the tailgate. I should have, because I looked on YouTube and there's like absolutely nothing about the tailgates. I did find one kind of like putting it together, but that was like if you had the electric into a manual one or something like that. But this is obviously a manual. So I should have done a video on this. I'll probably do a video of putting the tailgate back together, but taking it apart, like even the handle, like the handle where you crank up the window and everything. It's pretty hard to figure that out. I mean, you know, I thought maybe it was on the inside of the handle, but you actually have to go inside the tailgate, remove this piece, and then you can get to the bolts. So yeah, I figured that out. I'll definitely do a video on the tailgate. But like I said, I still need to fix up. I mean, as you can see, it's pretty rotted right here. Over here is probably worse. So yeah, I still need to clean that up. It was pressure washed yesterday, but obviously still needs a lot of work. So I'm gonna paint that in the hood at the same time after I do the Blazer. But yeah, I mean, Blazer running perfectly. I got a brand new battery. My old battery died, obviously from being hooked up and everything like that. I'm about to take this battery off because obviously I need to mount the inner fenders, and this is going to be in the way. So battery's coming off. Won't be back on until after I paint. So that's that. So I think we're good to go. I'm going to start working on this list this week, and come Friday or Saturday, this thing's going to be getting paint. As you can see, I painted back here already.